We have explored both the origins of the first Sith Lords as well as the first Jedi on the channel, but what about the first Force user who was truly in the middle between the light and dark side of the Force? Who was this Force wielder that was not a slave to either the viewpoint of the light or the dark, and not a slave to destruction or the constraints of the light? In truth, those that followed the more gray path existed long before even the Jedi or Sith orders, and those that were once gray would one day develop into the Jedi that we know now. The original gray Jedi were known as the Jedi Order and strive to maintain a stance in the middle of the Force, never falling too close to either side. Although we explored some of the history of the Jedi previously, I would like to deeply delve into their philosophy in this video. It was in this state in the middle that the Jedi Order felt the most in balance with each other and the very planet that they resided on. This is the code of the Jedi Order. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge, there is no fear, there is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of the darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force. Every time the Jedi fell out of this state of balance, the planet they lived on and studied on, known as Tython, reacted to this change, bringing great earthquakes and storms to the Jedi Order. Quote, observing the world around them, they saw two moons in one sky, light, Ashla, and dark, Bogan, and they understood the dual aspects of the Force, light and dark. The light defined the dark as the dark did the light. When balance was not maintained, Tython reacted the imbalance with severe storms and quakes, and so the travelers defined themselves, ever seeking a balance. They became the Jedi, a Dai Bendu term meaning mystic center. Only through the harmony of balance could the Jedi maintain a peaceful world. Although the Jedi strived to keep balance, they truly believed only in peace and the lack of conflict surrounding one another. In addition to this, the Jedi never took matters of the galaxy into their own hands, instead only wishing to keep peace amongst themselves on the planet of Tython. On Tython, several temples were constructed to the Jedi Order, as the followers would journey around the planet to each temple, as they sought knowledge and more understanding on the Force that guided their every move. The journey of a Jedi was more personal based rather than entirely orderly based. Although the Jedi believed in peace, they also did not ignore the dark side of the Force, or what they called Bogan, and by acknowledging it and keeping it in check, they were allowed to grow from it and keep its power at bay. Quote, in the light, there is a darkness, and in the darkness, a light. It is the way with us all. Be a prisoner of neither Ashla or Bogan. Strive to live in balance, as Tython itself teaches us. It is dangerous to do otherwise, and the danger is there. Always. If any member of the Jedi Order were to follow too close to the dark side of the Force, they would be exiled to one of two moons of Tython that was bathed in the light side of the Force, and the light itself, as they would be sent to meditate and ponder on both the darkness within them and the light of the moon. The Jedi did this until they again attained a proper balance in the Force, at which point they could return to Tython. The same was done to any Jedi who fell too far to the light side of the Force, as they would be sent to a moon bathed in darkness and the dark side of the Force, until the balance yet again occurred. It was this balance above all other things that a Jedi craved for. The Jedi Order were in fact the first gray Jedi, the gray coming even before the light and dark side of the Force were strictly followed by the Sith or the Jedi Order. After centuries of harmony, two groups formed on Tython, one who desired to follow the gifts of the light side of the Force and the other the dark side of the Force. This is the point where the first Dark Jedi originated, as they took up arms against their brethren. In response, most of the remaining Jedi turned to the light side of the Force for guidance in hopes that they could use it to vanquish their fallen brothers and sisters. This would be marked as the first major conflict between the light and dark side of the Force in galactic history, and would be referred to by the historians as the Force Wars. Eventually, those adherent to the light side of the Force defeated the Dark Jedi, and they were forced to leave the planet of Tython in fear that it would rip them apart because of the imbalance. Over time, the Dark Jedi would be scattered and would die out, but again, the newly formed Jedi Order would find hope in a new world they called Osis. It was finally when the Jedi were away from Tython that they truly strived as a newly reborn Jedi Order. It was at this point that the Jedi Order developed its morals firmly within the light side of the Force and joined with the Republic to protect and serve the galaxy. This is what one of the many authors and creators of the Jedi Order said concerning them and their philosophy in the Force. The Jedi don't see a division of the light and the dark side. Instead, they believe a balance is necessary between the two. The Jedi are like the Titans in Greek mythology who came before the gods. They are beings of great power and ability, but not all-knowing. They struggle with the idea of balance in the Force, and know that being out of balance affects their power and the planet of Tython itself. So those were the first Grey Jedi, and how they came before even the Jedi or Sith, and as described in this quote, the Titans before the gods. So what are your thoughts on the Jedi Order and their viewpoints on the Force, as well as what ultimately became of them as they transformed into the Jedi we know today? And as another question, did you know that the Jedi Order, or this Grey Jedi type, came before even the Jedi or the Sith? Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed and want to help the channel out, be sure to hit the like button. If you would like to see more Star Wars explanation videos and stay up to date with all the Star Wars news from The Last Jedi to Star Wars Rebels, hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to turn on notifications to see everything as soon as it comes out, and to make sure that you become a living holocron today. If you would like to get in direct contact with me, follow me on Twitter, where we discuss all things Star Wars and debate with one another on the various topics concerning the universe. If you have any video ideas you want to see explored, leave them in the comments below the video with hashtag suggestion at the end of your comment so I can find it better. If you do end up leaving a suggestion, I really appreciate it and hope to one day make a full video dedicated to your question or suggested topic. Thanks again just for simply watching the video and your continued support on this Star Wars journey. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.